Hi and welcome back to Animating the Keyboard using MIDI. What I'd like to show you next is recognising the chord change. This is quite difficult, but it's also essential that we take care of the issue. So here we've got the left hand and it's about to change. Now on the first one there, you're tempted to put the finger down on this particular key here. Okay? That is something you shouldn't be doing just yet, because what you should be doing is just having a quick look and seeing what keys are going down. Now as you look along there, you can see that that is the actual chord that's being played. So in actual fact, we need to move the hand across to these new positions, and once we've done that, we also want to make that point in time so that we can refer back to it. Okay, so we can do that in a number of ways. We can just start moving the shoulder, and just if you just have a quick look at where that is, you can bring that hand across nice and easily like that and reposition it in that position there. So again, have a look where that actually sits. Now I would say that we can afford to bring our fingers a little bit further over actually, but in relative terms that chord will play reasonably well with those fingers located there. But what we want to do is bring the whole arm back so that this is not going to get in the way of anything here. Okay, so just going to bring that over there, and using these two pieces again, we're going to use the right shoulder. Just give it a quick check where she is. So we're going to come back a little bit, and then we're going to bring the arm back up again and have another little quick look to see how we're positioned. Okay, so as you can see from that shoulder, we'll have a look at the twist a bit again. Okay, bring that into situ. And that's not too bad. We could actually play that from there. That looks reasonably comfortable. The hand's slightly above the keyboard, as you can see. So that is more or less nearly okay. But what problem we could have is here, that is a little bit still too close to that keyboard. So what I'd like to do again is just carry on going back with the arms and things. So using the back to front method here, we'll bring that back a couple, and using the arm we'll bring that back up again. Okay, just do it so that they clear okay there. Now once you're getting closer to the mark, you'll find that this little finger is getting closer to the end, so we're still not quite there yet. So again, we'll start off with that one and using the back a bit, and then the other one there to bend it back up again. Now you can see that little finger's very close to the edge there. Okay, so we just need to go back to the left shoulder using twist again and reposition that there. Now you can see we've got plenty of room here so the note finger can go up and down okay, and with a bit of luck we should still be able to catch hold of that finger. I mean, if you're a little bit out, if you're not quite sure, just come back a little bit and drop the arm down a couple there, just to make sure that they're going to get in there okay. So we'll have another look, and now you can see that's positioned reasonably well now. Okay, so we can now have a look at that one and move that one across. This one here, we'll use that finger to do what we want, so we'll bring that one into there, and this one we're going to move that one out of the way, so we're going to push that up in the air there. So now you can start to see that the positions of the fingers are such that it's nearly catching up with all the chords. And then the final bit to sort it out is we need that little part of the finger there. Let's move that light out of the way a little bit there. So on that little pinky there, we're going to grab hold of that, put a slight bend into that one, And now you can start to see we still need to move this hand across. So we go back up again. As I say, once you've got these positions, it's much easier to reset them to where you want them, okay? Right, so that's our shoulder, front and back and twist. And here we're now going to just take that a tiny bit more. Okay, a bit more bend on that finger there. And finally, we're going to push that down from the third joint, which is basically your first joint there. Okay, so that is quite a stretch for somebody to do. So you can still, by moving this around a bit here, you can open up those fingers even better. So this is what I was saying about getting the stretch. And again, we're going to concentrate to get them closer. Now don't forget you can use this function there, the parameter setting. Instead of making that 0.5, drop that down to 0.1 or 0.2. Accept that. Now you'll have a lot more control over where you pop that along. Okay? So once we're happy that we're starting to clear that, we'll readjust these fingers again. And that one there. Okay. And then we'll just have a quick check around, and we're pretty close there. Pretty close there. And that's how you get that full stretch across. Okay? If you so wished, you can still go to that one and have a look at what bend you've got left. Now look, that is right on the edge of the limit now. And that finger's right on the edge of the limit, but we've got a complete stretch across all those keys, okay? And that is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's this, so you've got the 3 and the 3, and that's stretching from the 2 across there, okay? So that's how we get an octave stretch on the left hand and the right hand indeed. But because we've now moved all of the hands and things like that, so on the right collar we need to punch down that information, and on the left just make sure they're constant for now. And now we can see we've got a definite change from that chord through to that one, okay? In fact, if we look at that, that is coming in well before then, okay? So looking at that, that's where we were. At that point there's where it's changed, and that point there's where it's changed. So now you've got the ability to put those hands in the right place. So at the moment we've got them there, but there's nothing stopping us moving those two across. So let's go across now. Okay, so we can keep doing that until we get that spot on. So at that point there we've got a key change, and that's the one I'm now going to take out of there. So this is where it changes. So this is where I want those keys to come in. So now we've got one there. So at that section there now, we're going to move these fingers up out of the way. Okay, make sure they're constant. Then we're going to jump to the next one, and you can see there's now 2 keys gone down, an extra 2 there. So we're going to put them there. And obviously our little key's already there on that other one. So by doing that from there to there, that one's fine. What we have got though, don't forget that little one will be down here. So we'll lift that up out of the way. Perhaps not quite as bad as that. We come down to about there. Okay. So now, that's our first one. So that's the position key. The second one is up. The third one has now gone down. Okay, so let's move that up a bit more so we can see it. And you can see now that this one's gone down. And also at the same time the little one's gone down there. Let's move that light out of the way a second. So here we go, we'll move that down. Now that can come back down again. So it looks a bit fiddly, but when you go back now, they should all sync up nicely. So this is the next one there, that's from there to there. So this finger's going down. Okay, so that's nice there. Then we've got everything happening okay. Yep, we've gone right through to the end now. So we've gone one, that's the change, which we've got the two, all the frames keyed in on. Now these are the changes in the hand and the fingers. Okay, and what's happening now is there's another change, but it's gone over here. So that is the left hand reset up with a fixed point in time and then moved along. And by going a little to the last bit, you can start to see it looks confusing, but now there's a nice move from there to there. Okay, now there's nothing really stopping us. You could make that slide a lot easier. So with the left one, let's put that to TCB and then watch what happens. Now it's going to move nice and gently across, but this is where the problem occurs. Can you see it's going through the keys? Whereas when it's set up as a constant, it will go straight across. Okay? And then it will play the notes that you want. So otherwise you'd have to put a lot of intermittent ones in here. You could do that to pick up the hand and move it across. Okay, so that's just a quick way of getting from a change of from one octave, sorry, one particular note to the next note. Okay, so there's a change in a chord effectively from one to the other. And then as we go along, we'd have to also look at what's happening with the right hand. So as we go along, there, keep an eye on it. There's a change from that point to there. So that finger's moved. Carry on. And that last one, we can see both of those have moved. So that one there needs to come up, and this finger here needs to come up. So let's try that again. So start from there. That's the change of the chord, and these are the fingers changing. We've missed one there. If you look, there's that little pinky there. There's a change there for that pinky. He's got another one there. So bring that down. Just check how that's sitting. Okay, so then let's play that again. So we're going from the left, the change of chords, the pink is all changing as well. Okay, so now we've got all those little fingers moving up and down correctly, and then at that point there, which is the last one in this sequence, there's another note down there, so we can pop that one down there. Okay, don't forget to waft them all back to constant. There you go. And now they're all playing correctly. Alright, so you get little blocks of it as you play through. So that's that done, and I'll leave that with you to look at and play around with. And thank you for listening. Take good care.